Okay. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Fieldstone4U. It's an absolutely beautiful day out, so I'm grateful that all of you are taking the time to spend with us to learn more about how innovative housing opportunities has built an incredible culture in this environment that we're in. So we're going to hear from two leaders, but I do want to let you all know that I am recording this. Robin Stropko has created a YouTube channel, and all of our recorded sessions you can find there and you can share with your colleagues. So Robin records who's in the session, and she will let you know, or give you the link. Otherwise, you can always go to our YouTube and just do a search for Fieldstone Leadership Network Orange County, and you can find all of our Fieldstone4Us on there. Again, just welcome to everybody. Just a quick explanation about Fieldstone4U. This whole program was born out of the quarantine, and we just wanted to be responsive to your needs and to what you needed. And so at the end of every time we would be together, whether it was an informal check-in or a virtual happy hour or an actual webinar, I would say, what do you need? And you ask and we listen. And then we would then find somebody in our network or sometimes out of the network to come in and speak with us. And what we're most proud of with Fieldstone is that spirit of reciprocity, and that's just giving back. And we've been so grateful that we've had so many people share their stories and their successes and their challenges, because we're all truly in this together. So a little bit of housekeeping. If you could all mute your screens or your devices, your computers, whatever you might have, because obviously we're all becoming Zoom experts. If one person's talking, then the other group cannot talk. So we want to hear from our speakers. So we want to make sure that we're muted. You can put any of your questions in the chat, and our speaker will be able to address that. But what I would like to do right now is I'd love to know who you are. So if you would tell the group, and I'll just kind of call on you based on the order that you're on in my screen, your name, your position, and the organization that you're with. So I'm Robin Sinclair with Fieldstone Leadership Network, and I'm the executive director. Michelle.
Me, take it away.
Yeah, just introduce yourself, and then we'll come back to you. Don't do your presentation just yet.
Oh, hi, I'm Michelle Reinhardt with Innovative Housing Opportunities. I'm the Director of Operations.
Thank you.
I present here today.
Rochelle.
I'm Rochelle Mills. I'm the President and CEO of Innovative Housing Opportunities.
Thank you. Janae. Maybe Janae's not there. We'll go to Robin Stropko.
I'm Robin Stropko. I'm the Program and Development Assistant, and Janae Kreitner is with Grandma's House of Hope, and she's the Executive Director, and she just came on.
Sorry about that. Hi, everybody. It's Janae. I can't start my video, but hi.
Hi. Glad you're with us. Gina.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Gina Scott, the Executive Director for HomeAid Orange County, and I can't wait to hear what our friends have to say today. I'm excited.
Great. Marin.
Hi, everyone.
Oh, sorry, Lauren or Marin?
Oh, sorry, Marin. Marin McGill.
Oh, go ahead, Marin. Sorry.
That's okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Marin McGill. I work for First Republic Bank, your sponsor for today. I work with Janet Buck very closely, and she wishes she could be here today to hear this great presentation from Rochelle and Michelle, but I'm here to represent us. She's on a much-needed vacation this week, so nice to be here.
Great. Kara.
Hi everyone, I'm Kira Jones. I'm the Assistant Director of Administrative Operations at Dodge College in Chapman University.
Excellent. Christina.
Hi, I'm Christina Garcia. I work at Casa Youth Shelter. I'm the Operations and Events Director there. And if you see little people back, these are my assistants. So I will be on mute most of the time. So I'm grateful to be here. Bye-bye.
I love it. Larry. I'm not sure if Larry Haynes, I see your name. Well, Larry's with Mercy House. So hi, Larry, nice to see you. Framework, Lisa, is that you? Could be Lisa Castetter. Kareem.
Hi, I'm Kareem Marashi. I'm the Director of Technical Operations over at Chapman University's Dodge College of Film and Media Arts.
Excellent. Thanks for joining us, Kareem. Nice to see you. Allison.
Allison doesn't have audio. She's the Director of Human Resources, I believe, at Project Access.
Great. Jamie. Jamie's with Crittenton. Jamie is the director of all the training and put on an incredible Zoom webinar for us last week. Danielle.
Hey everybody, my name is Danielle DeBerg and I'm the controller at Families Forward.
Excellent. Luz.
Hello everybody, my name is Luz. I am the Administrative Service Manager at Innovative Housing and Michelle is my wonderful manager, so I'm here to support her.
Aww.
Thank you.
How nice is that? Denise.
Hi everyone, Denise Oboro. I am the Director of Programs at Community Housing Works in San Diego.
And a recent participate in our book club. So hi Denise.
Hello.
Lauren.
Hi, everyone. I'm Lauren Brand, and I'm with Mind OC, and really excited to listen to Rochelle and Michelle today.
Great. And Renetta.
Hi, I'm Renetta Johnson with Waymakers, and pleased to be here today. Thanks.
Excellent. Okay, I think I got everybody. I'm scrolling through, but I think we have everybody on. Okay, so just again, if you wouldn't mind muting your device, that would be awesome. I do want to thank our friends at First Republic because they are our wonderful supporter of the network in so many ways. So we just are so happy that Marin's on the call. Thank you to Marin and Janet Buck for being such incredible friends to Fieldstone and financial supporters. So glad that you're here. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Rochelle Mills, who's the CEO with Innovative Housing Opportunities. Innovative Housing Opportunities has been an incredible partner to Fieldstone. Rochelle has sent several of her staff members through our programs, whether it's been through a learning group or through executive coaching. And we just are so grateful to have a partner like them. You will oftentimes see us highlighting what they're doing in our leaders in the field, and it's because they really are doing exceptional work. And especially since the pandemic, it's just been really very inspiring for me personally to read what they've been doing. I mean, truly nothing has stopped them, and you're going to hear about that today. But we're just so grateful. So Michelle happens to be in a learning group, a group that I'm facilitating, and another person is also being coached, and Rochelle is being coached, and it's just a big, and then somebody else is also in another one of our learning groups. So it's just one big happy family. So we just love that Fieldstone and Innovative Housing have this wonderful relationship. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Rochelle, not Michelle just yet.
Hi, everyone. I want to introduce Michelle Reinhardt. She is our Director of Operations. She's been with IHO at least 3 years. It's funny, you think that that we've all been together for 10 years, but it really hasn't been that long. She came in as our administrative services manager, and we knew that it was time for her to grow. She moved into the Director of Operations position where you need to have a lot of authority, and Michelle has always been in the background. We were real worried. Is she going to do it? Is this going to, are we going to break poor Michelle, or is she going to be able to handle it? And she has soared. When we started seeing the Fieldstone4U, I just thought Michelle would be a natural, because this has been a year like no other, but also internally at IHO, we have completed a strategic plan. We have been Just before the pandemic, we brought in 2 people. After the pandemic, we brought in 2 people. We've got folks that nobody's met before. We had a mandate from our board that we needed to reduce our costs, even though we moved into a new office space. And Michelle has really single-handedly handled all of it and has put documents together that will help us protect ourselves as we move forward. And so I want to make sure to give the floor to her and ask that you all be very generous and give her, if you can go to your reactions button and give her a round of applause so that she feels comfortable to get started. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Rochelle. Thank you, Robin. Thank you, everybody, for joining. I am going to share, and well, I appreciate this opportunity, and I'm going to share how IHO has been moving through the past 5 months of the pandemic, and hopefully what I share about our experiences can support you in your efforts in some way. My personal motto is the work teaches us the work, and definitely the work over the past 5 months has been unprecedented, but definitely our investment in this work has paid off. So that's what I wanted to share with everybody today. So I hope you get that takeaway from it. Let's see. So Rochelle, we already went through our introductions, and that's great. So Robin, if you move to the slide about IHO, just a quick introduction about our organization. I think it's slide 3.
Is that the one?
Yes, please.
Okay.
So Innovative Housing Opportunities, fondly called IHO, was formed in 1976, and we advocate housing for low to moderate income residents, originally in Irvine. And today our model for housing, affordable housing, is to develop thriving mixed income, mixed use, and mixed population communities with services provided to the residents. And it starts with housing is a motto that I usually use right away, because to me it reflects that the foundation for catalytic, vibrant communities starts with housing. It's a foundation. And so we anchor our, communities by our high quality affordable housing, and we hope that our residents can dream of and reach for new possibilities within our properties. That's our mission. So next, before I move on for that, I just want to share that next year we're excited to celebrate IHO's 45th year anniversary. So we have quite a legacy, and the 40th anniversary of our flagship property, Woodbridge Manor in Irvine, which is our very first very low income apartments, which houses seniors. We'll be celebrating the 40th anniversary of that property next year. So very proud heritage. Okay, so next slide. So so going the distance. So what I've come out of this last 5 months is saying it with meaning. And that's been my takeaway since working through this pandemic. And all of these terms in here, in this word cloud, just to me has taken on a whole new meaning. I don't know for others as well, but I used to say, stay safe all the time. I say it to my kids, I say it in my emails and people and text, because I feel if I don't say it and something happens, then, oh my gosh, I'm so superstitious. It's been, it's kind of my responsibility that something happened. But now everybody is saying, stay safe, be healthy, take care out there. It's on the news, blogs, executives. So all of these, I don't know, it just seems everything has taken on such a whole new meaning. I think people say thank you to each other so much more now, because it's just, there's just so much uncertainty out there that we're all holding on to really these values. And I think pivot is probably my favorite word. And again, it's not new, but it just is so representative of, and the definition is to swivel, to rotate, to twist. I mean, that's what we're all doing. And it's just that much more intense. Resilience is another one of my favorite words. It means strength and toughness and hardiness. And I'm so proud of the resilience of our organization. And another good word is intentional. I know that there's even webinars about being intentional and deliberate and purposeful. And again, that's what I want to convey in my talk with you today is just, it's effort, but it's a challenge, but the payoff is I think really great. And of course, culture. I mean, we're all using the word culture these days, culture of care, culture of our employees, our culture. Oops.
Did we lose her? Hello? Can you all hear me? Do a thumbs up if you can hear me. Oh, I think we just lost Michelle.
Yeah.
All right, Rochelle, you want to
Yeah, why don't you go to the next slide, and as soon as she comes back in, she can jump.
Okay.
One of the things that we did to minimize the disruption was that our leadership team moved very quickly to protect the health and safety of the overall IHO team. We transitioned to work from home. That was a vital investment in our employees. And we'll go over that a little bit later about the investment. I was one of those people who just insisted we cannot do it from remotely. You can't dial it in. I am just loving the extra 3 hours I get each day from not making that drive in. So transitioning, we did that as quickly as possible. Maintaining our culture of caring was about being intentional, making sure sometimes, I have a tendency to say, I'm not part of the purple ribbon brigade. Everyone gets the ribbon for showing up, but realizing how much the staff needed us to reinforce how much we cared was something that I did not realize, and Michelle helped me to realize. We did that a few ways. When we sent everyone home, we were fortunate to have the budget to be able to send with them laptops and some equipment that they might need, those who needed computers or printers, etc. But we wanted to do some other things like sending them cards to have lunch, saying lunch on us and those things. Michelle is also going to be instituting a lunch program where we connect one-on-one with different members of the staff. As I mentioned, we've got staff people we've never met before. And so being able to encourage those kinds of things and have our IHO awards so that people really recognize, again, I cannot say enough, I did not realize how important that is. Preparing a COVID-19 response plan gave us focus and transparency. We have not experienced effects of COVID directly, being that we do affordable housing and most of the funding sources will be coming from tax increments. I expect that we will really see that later on, but it was extremely important, especially to some of our board members and our advisors consistently asked us about COVID. And as we started to reach out to our staff, they needed to know as well. So providing that response plan was important to making sure that they felt that they were protected and valued. Next slide, please. This was a question that Michelle wanted to ask, and if you could just into your chat, how do you handle crises? Do you hunker down? Is it business as usual? Do you focus on the culture and care? What are the ways that you that are on this call are handling it? One of the things that we thought about, and I'm sure everybody thought, we figured it'd be a couple weeks, we'd get back to normal and be done with it. That has not been the case. And each of us operates ever so slightly differently. And so we notice that there are some that, you know, the giddiness of being able to jump into the car and say, see ya, on the way home. You know, some people did not look back. They got to their homes, they got their laptops, they were done. We actually are finding that there are some who would like to come in. Not that they want to work 5 days a week, but they miss that engagement. And we're starting to hear that with our staff, that they're starting to, you know, can we figure out a way to connect? And so we're looking at bringing people in maybe twice a month from 8 o'clock to 12 o'clock, arranging the office in a way so that we have some kind of true physical connection, socially distanced, but really trying to make sure that people feel plugged in. Michelle, are you in now?
Yes, I'm on my phone. Oh my gosh,
okay.
My worst nightmare.
Well, you know, this speaks to being able to be adaptable and resilient. I was just going through the slides, and we are asking people how they have been handling the crisis. So you can take a look at that. I'll read that, and then you can go on with the next slide. Robin says, trying to stay healthy by getting outdoors. Gina says, stop, slow down, reflect, and focus on culture and care. True. Business as usual for as long as possible. That's Robin Strofko. And I'm kind of that way. Hunker down, this is Ciara. Hunker down and come together as a team, helping each other in various areas of the organization. Denise says, affirmations and care to everyone on our on-site team. That's really smart. Focusing on culture and care. Have been grateful to have the opportunity to slow down. Christina, we agree with you 100%. I'll read these last couple. Ronetta says it's changed over time. We've increased communication in fun ways such as question of the day, social hours to maintain connection. Lauren says using technology to stay connected, focusing on relationship and connection. And Jamie says stress for a bit, then just get to work. Michelle, you can take it from there.
Well, thanks. Well, what I was going to say about that too is I think we've, as IHO, touched on every phase. Actually, I think at first we were thinking business as usual because this is only going to last a couple of weeks. And then it was, oh, wait, no, we better, you know, wait, no, we better stay safe. We, you know, it's okay to work from home. Let's keep doing this. And then we realized, you know, we really got to take care of everybody. We've got to make sure everybody feels comfortable and confident that we're, you know, going to get through this. So we focused on culture and care, you know, ramp that up. And then other is just, I think, and my other favorite word is remaining fluid. I think we just got to remain fluid and flexible. So that's, so the next slide. Have you been able to hear me?
Yep.
Okay, great. Thank you. All right, so this is about just what we've, the areas that we focused on. And I think we were ahead of the curve in all of this. And we, you know, touched on all these areas, but the main focus was the trust, building the trust of our staff and building so that we, you know, maintain our outcome and also the trust of our board as well, and maintaining that connection with them. And the plexiglass panels, the picture of our office on the side, that was originally only supposed to take 3 days to get installed. And we were thinking we'd be back in the office at the end of May. And then it turned out to be 8 weeks because there was such a large demand, but they are there now. So the next slide. So I really commend Rochelle and her leadership and for being decisive and quick, and we, you know, adapting on the fly, and, you know, to our CFO and CEO, Rochelle, to really make an investment and realizing the value. So we realized, again, after that we were, you know, this wasn't just an overnight stay at home, that we really needed to get technology to our staff so that, one, it was secure, they were working on our network, our, our information, our equipment, and, for cybersecurity. So in hindsight, though, and again, when Rochelle was appointed CEO, her vision for bolstering operations and our infrastructure was to migrate to Office 365 so we could be in the cloud. And that was about a year ago, I think, that we did that. But who knew that hindsight led to foresight, and that by being in the cloud and migrating to Office 365, that has allowed us our business continuity today, allows us to be seamless, and all the tools that come with Microsoft has been really without extra cost, has allowed us, I think, to really excel in continuing our business. Again, last year when we moved into our new space, we got internet phones. Internet phones allow you to download an app on your cell phone, and you can call as if you're calling from the office, and people can call you that are calling into the office and see your office line. So it looks like we're working from the office, even though somebody might be working on their cell phone or talking on their cell phone. And also it doesn't charge the employees. If they are on their mobile phone, it doesn't charge their data plan, it charges the companies. We get emails, faxes, everything is through, the voicemails are delivered through emails. So I think that has been, again, allowing us to be really responsive and not have any downtime in getting back to the people that we need to speak with, especially our employees. So again, new equipment, not just getting personal computers, getting industrial strength, business strength laptops that have the memory, except for my battery went out, but that has the, the power to run everything we need it to, all the software we need it to from home, as if we were working in the office. So I think the investment, again, about being about investment, the investment in the equipment is, has allowed us to really function and pivot fast and be adaptable very fast. So we also implemented an online accounting system. It's like what's called an enterprise-wide system, but it's allowing us to reduce the manual transactions that have to take place. So being out of the office, slowing down that process, we've actually been able to transition, and we will speed up the process because it takes away some of the manpower. And that was something that we actually started implementing like a week before the pandemic. So I think IHO is so generous, and we realize, I guess, that care for the culture and care for the putting employees first. We approved to give small monthly stipends to our employees at home to make them feel that they're being supported, and that the use of their personal internet and their use of their personal phones were taken care of or covered by the company. And then online HR tools, we implemented time and attendance reporting a while back, a couple of years ago actually, and that's allowed us, for our hourly employees, everything is entered online, and we can evaluate their time. We can, it's an easy way for them to report their time, for our staff to report time off, and it's just been a huge reporting tool and streams and quickens our payroll processing. So the next slide.
Michelle, I asked a question, but I think if you're on your phone, you might not see it. How did you determine the stipend amount?
We did some, looked around online, looked at HR portals, and really did some research. I think we talked to a couple of other organizations, and I talked to my CFO, and we said, well, how much does that cost? How much would it cost me for my plan? And we said, okay, this amount. So we settled on a small amount, but actually very generous. So obviously communication is key, and we set boundaries early on. And again, I feel like we were ahead of the curve on this. We set boundaries early on that this is only temporary. I mean, part of it is work from home is so new. We didn't have a policy, a work from home policy, or anything developed for that. We never really looked at our organization as being a telecommuting type company. So we set the boundaries early on that this is temporary and until further notice. And we set expectations early on that, we just, to the hourly employees, we, just want you to work during regular working hours. Don't, if you answer an email later on in the evening, then, I want to pay you for it because you've worked. So just, and plus you need the time off. So just keep your hours to the time that we all need you to be there. We instilled, though, some flexibility about productivity, but I don't think that we're really seeing any issues in that area. Everybody seems to be very productive. So again, setting some boundaries about work hours and things like that, and communicating that so that everybody knows where they stand. So establishing best practices for our culture is really about what works for us in terms of communication. So emails, texts, is it okay to call somebody? Yes. If you need something from me, call me. It's the fastest way. Again, being able to use our internet phones, it shouldn't be a cost to the employee. Or we have chat. We use Microsoft Teams, and we have that chat feature. So all of the above was acceptable, and we made that known, and how to reach each other. And we also established email etiquette because we felt that with everybody emailing so much and being out of the office, working from home, being a little bit more isolated, we wanted everybody to understand what email etiquette was and, how to apply it. I presented an employee assistance program that's through our HR services, payroll services, and I think a few employees were very appreciative to get that information. It's confidential, so if they're facing any issues with working from home, they can have access to handling it privately as opposed to, sharing it if they felt uncomfortable. And we surveyed the team anonymously on when to return to the office. And so we didn't do that right away. And I know we're 5 months into it, and I don't know if, other organizations will find it of, value to do it at this point. I think that it was really insightful for us to implement it. I think we implemented it around June when we were thinking we were going to go back to the office in July, and it was very enlightening.
I want to interject here. What was interesting is as we, right after we got sent home, we implemented a weekly huddle where we just, everybody gets together on Friday mornings. It's usually about 15 to 30 minutes. And as we would talk on a weekly basis, we would ask, are people interested in coming back? And you'd hear various, oh yeah, I'm interested. When we sent the survey out, we got absolutely not until there's a vaccine. We got a completely different take. And that is to dispel any myth that any of us have that we are just on, easy going terms with our staff. The truth is that people need to know anonymously, and they'll tell you the truth then.
So next slide. So here's an excerpt from our survey. And like Rochelle said, it was very telling what, like Rochelle said, on our video chats on Fridays and our staff huddles, and how's everybody doing? And we have icebreakers, and everybody would, we talk about COVID clothes and what's your favorite thing to eat and what's your favorite room in the house. And we did those items, and everybody would nod and smile. But it wasn't until we did this anonymous survey that we realized that behind the scenes, people did have true, really intense feelings and concerns about returning back to the office. So this is just, one of the questions we asked, and it was very telling. So, now we're not gonna, I think we decided to not go back until we're ready. So we've shared that with staff. Next slide. Oh, sorry, I'm not seeing the next slide. Is that me or?
Well, you know what happened is Robin, something happened with Robin and I'm the host now. Hi, guys. And guess what? I don't have Robin's computer.
Oh, there it is.
She's
There
back.
it is. I see it. Yeah, it's
I'm
up.
so sorry.
Okay. Hey, real world
Okay.
experiences are the best teachers, right?
I'm having new internet put in, but I don't know why it just kicked, something just kicked me off. So I apologize.
Yeah. So the next
Okay.
slide, Robin. Sorry.
This one?
Yes. So response plan and making sense. So the making sense is, you know, by researching and all the information we gathered, you know, what makes sense. But I did draft a return to work outline early on because we wanted to let the board know that we, you know, and well, you know, obviously staff, but share with our board too, that we had a plan for going back in, that we did our research, that we understood what type of protective equipment was needed. And so we drafted a couple of pages of that. And then also a COVID response plan I received from our risk management, which was phenomenal and detailed. And so, you know, we were able to detail what happens if somebody were to get sick, you know, what kind of thinking about what's our communication plan. So detailing that out. So, you know, through the response plan and, you know, the return to work plan really came from, you know, conducted and, you know, just research. I mean, I think all of you probably have seen so many webinars go by, and I was so thirsty to really read and learn and kind of get the commonalities from what everybody was saying. So just a lot of webinars and research went into putting our plan together. So I made sure I was on track, and purchasing the proper equipment and the acrylic panels, and working with Luz to order, you know, and having the right cleaning supplies and gloves and those plastic forks and spoon packages that I used to throw away that I used to get from restaurants. We actually ordered a big supply now, so they're all sanitary. And we've been evaluating return to work scenarios. You know, do we do staggered hours? Do we do a couple of days a week? You know, the working from home and getting more comfortable with that now, we can do it. You know, are you thinking the same thing? Experiencing the same thing in your organizations? You know, is it, at first it was really awkward, and then it was like, kind of crazy, and then it's like, okay, it's kind of comfortable, and it's as good as it is bad. That's what somebody said to me. But so anyway, we're thinking of these different scenarios about really coming up with what makes sense to go back. And I even learning from a legal advisor, I said, can you share with me a best practice policy on return to work and remote work? And she goes, well, when you figure it out, you let us know, because it's just fluid, you know, there's that word. And then keeping our board and staff informed, you know, that is the purpose, and being transparent. And that is the purpose of all of these plans and, you know, and thoughts into these documents is, you know, creating something that everybody can feel good about or concrete about, even though it is fluid, but it's better to be transparent. That's what we're experiencing. And
Okay, it happened again.
all right.
She'll be on quickly. This is why I don't like Spectrum, which is what she's getting now.
Oh. Well, if I was savvy enough, I could probably share my screen, but I don't know. Let's see. Rochelle, oh, I can't even send you the presentation.
Yeah, I'm trying to see, because maybe I can pull up the last version of yours that I.
Oh, I emailed it to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see.
You're still on, Michelle. Oh, here she comes. She's back.
This,
She's back. Here it comes again.
this is,
Yay.
this is like what they do SNL skits on.
Yes,
So
exactly.
incredible. Again, we're going through some cable things and it just bounced me off, but my son has a hotspot, so we just got on. This has never happened, I just want to say. And I feel so horrible that I'm the one that's sharing the screen. So I just so apologize because this is all such great stuff. So thank you for bearing with me. But
No, thank you.
It happens. So where are we?
We can go to the next slide. And actually, that's one of my other new favorite sayings is, are you on mute? Can everybody relate to that one?
Oh my gosh. If we were having a happy hour, I'd buy you all around. So I'm so sorry. So sorry. Okay.
So I think Robin shared in the beginning, I am most proud of our organization and the resiliency and just of what we've been doing, being ahead of the curve and making quick decisions, because it's allowed us to build our capacity and continue to grow the organization even at this time of challenges. And we hired 2 new employees right before the shelter in place order. So Luz she's been with us longer out of the office than she was in the office. And so that was quick to adapt. We did hire one girl who came in for our senior accountant, had come in for interviews, but when it was time to actually bring her on board, she came on board remote. We interviewed, we searched, we interviewed, and we've onboarded 2 other new employees in our real estate development team since the pandemic. So we had to learn how to adapt our onboarding and our training procedures and pivot it with that. And each time I do it, I think I get better, but it was really about, I think, the employee experience. My biggest fear was that they would feel isolated and that they wouldn't understand the culture and that they'd be out there in their apartments or wherever they lived and really not knowing what was going on. So I made sure that they met all the different departments via Zoom and introduced them to the different finance and to, the services team. And we spent some time on the phone together. Luz helped me greatly by training them on all our tools that we use for doing our work, our time and attendance, our Outlook, calendaring, and we use a board governance portal. So there's a lot of moving parts that they needed to get onboarded with other than just filling out their HR forms. So really trying to, again, give them a good experience that, you're with you're with a sound organization here that you've just joined. We're not going to let you fail. We're going to make sure that you get intertwined with us and you're part of our team and we want you here. So that was my HR hat, feelings for onboarding new staff. And then, we're also going through board development training, and I think that's really helping too, because even during the pandemic, we've had to share with them, what are our response plans? What are we doing with our residents, our properties? And so, but we're also learning how to have better, more effective meetings and communicate better with them and working with a consultant. And of course, we're on Zoom video calls now with them as well and training them on that and making sure our meetings are seamless, just as if they were in person, and agendas and materials. So our board development has been really important because they support our organization. They need to know how to support us and they want to know how to support us, what we're doing. And then, we are really strong on professional and personal development. And in fact, this has been one of my goals, is to get better at public speaking and get out in front of people. So here I am, but we're Iho and Rochelle are very generous about professional development, hence the leadership network, and encouraging staff to take webinars and taking this time, because who knows, it is pretty focused time being at, I think, working from home. You can really zero in and focus in on the material being presented. So taking advantage of that. And a lot of the webinars are no charge, but even if it's a nominal fee, we've been supporting our staff, taking what it takes to grow and take any kind of online training. So this is our quarterly staff check-in, and again, being ahead of the curve, when Rochelle was appointed the CEO, and one of her ideas to improve operational efficiency and also just our infrastructure and care for the employees was to have these quarterly check-ins. And I know that it's, if you look at kind of articles and trainings online, it's coming about. So no more the annual review where you wait 1 year to hear that you weren't doing well, or even if you are doing well and never heard about it or got that pat on the back, or were able to, you were able to give feedback. So we actually implemented quarterly check-ins, I think, over a year ago. But what's new is kind of perfecting it. And so we had one form, and then we had another form, and, always trying to improve and streamline the process. So what we've now have come up with is this quarterly check-in that shows you the quarters and you can evaluate quarter over quarter improvements, or maybe areas that need, some extra effort. But it allows the employee to give feedback. Why did something improve? Why did something, kind of maybe take a downturn? And, every 90 days comes up really quick. I have to say, it's pretty challenging. It's very time consuming, but in the end, the benefit pays off because I think you build a better rapport with the employees. You understand the expectations, back and forth, get feedback. It's not waiting a year to hear from somebody or to tell them something. So I really like this form that this is our second quarter now that we're using it. And I think it's kind of enlightening to see the quarters at a glance and opposed to, what was said what did we say last year or last quarter? So.
This is incredible. Again, there are no surprises when it comes time for evaluation. So this is
right.
Awesome. Will
Exactly.
you be able to share? Can you send all of these to Robin so Robin can share them? Because I can imagine. I see Kira's hands going, her thumbs up. So this form would be fabulous if we can share with the network. That would be great.
Please send me your PowerPoint presentation and that form by itself. Please.
Okay. Absolutely. And what you don't see on the screen though, is there's a rating, and there's a way of tabulating the ratings. And so it's a really good side-by-side comparison. So yeah, so definitely send you the form. Happy to share it. So here we are at culture and performance, and there's that quote, and I, from one of my webinars, it just really resonated with me that, again, getting back to the word cloud, is just this culture of caring and for the culture has really, it's coming out in the way we're working together, our staff. And I've noticed it at IHO, and I sat in on a review with another one of our employees yesterday, and she just feels she can sense it, or she could see the bolstering of our infrastructure, and this type of organization has really helped our culture, and she could see it across the board, whether it's a committee meeting or a board meeting or just our staff check-ins. And but we should keep doing it. It's not just for now. I mean, it's really just this, we've learned so much by what we've been going through. So I think it's just a good way to keep going. So we have our weekly leadership team meetings just amongst the leadership, so that we make sure that one leadership team member in their department doesn't shoulder the weight of just their department, that they're able to share with the other leaders, and we can make decisions about the rocks that are in our way, issues we need to solve, clarify, problem solve, things I've all, been bringing back to my organization from my leadership network training, just really how to solve our problems and sharing it. And so that just doesn't fall on one person. We have staff huddles sometimes they're casual. They're supposed to be a little bit more casual, but talk about our priorities for the next week and what we've experienced this past week. One of our staff members, made a suggestion that she'd like to see more icebreakers so that we could get to know each other, since we are not in the office and not, able to walk up to somebody and see and learn from them by being in close proximity. So, we've been introducing more icebreakers and letting each staff member take charge of the huddle and ask a question. And it's just been really, really fun. Rochelle posed the question, one of the meetings on, what did you want to be when you grow up? And it was just so fascinating that what people said they wanted to be and where they are now, it's some similarities, some, you can understand why they took the path they did to become into affordable housing or maybe provide services. It's just been, it's been fun. And then our monthly staff meetings are more kind of in-depth training, a little bit more educational about what we do and making sure our staff understands why we do what we do. And every department will share too, where, any kind of priorities. And then bolstering our HR policies and best practices updates. Again, everything's changing, but it's a rule book, it's a guidebook. So we definitely are taking time to invest in updating that very important document that shares, norms, expectations, just, and how to take time off. We also take time to acknowledge our successes and our milestones. So this year, IHO celebrated its 44th year anniversary, and we sent cupcakes to every board member and every staff member on July 6th, which was our official anniversary. And the feedback we got was just so good, such a good feeling. And everybody was so appreciative of that effort, and it made everybody smile. And so it was really a good investment, a good effort. It was about being intentional to let people know, we're in business and we're still moving forward. Like Robin says, the show must go on, And then, obviously we're creating our core values and transparency. I mean, we're creating them. We developed them actually before the pandemic. It was a team approach, but we have to demonstrate it, and we have to live it. So that's what, it's ongoing. And so we're working on that.
So Michelle, we've got 5 minutes if you want to cycle through and
sure.
Get the key parts.
Sure. So core values, caring about the culture now is more important, is important now more than ever. And you can go to the next slide. I think we've already shared kind of all of that. And so just have everybody think, because I learned this, what are you doing, or is your organization doing the culture work now? And I think at first for our organization, we thought we were. I think we thought we were doing, good culture work, and until this pandemic hit, and now we realized some gaps, some things we could do better. And so I think we're really focused on it to a great extent now. So if other people have ideas or, or kind of suggestions or even thoughts about the culture work they're doing now, you can put that in the chat for later. Well, we can follow up on that later. So practicing authenticity. Authenticity is another one of my new favorite words. And so what's really important is that with everything going on, especially, another pandemic of sort with, race, bias, the cry for equality and inclusion. I think we held a really good staff huddle or meeting actually one day where Rochelle provided us a bunch of background resource material, and we had a really frank, honest discussion amongst our team about what this all means. What do we do as an organization? What do we do about the communities and the people we serve that are, that are all resemble are representative of this. So it was really honest discussion. And I think the more authentic we are as an organization, the more trust we build in the organization, where it shows we have compassion. And I think that just pays off huge as a really strong team that, so we welcome and encourage open and honest dialogue, and we want everyone to feel that they can contribute towards the culture and that they have value. So this is just something that came out that I heard: how companies manage the next 5 months will define their reputation as an employer for the next 5 years. It just really resonated with me. I just really believe that, and and building that trust with your staff. So. And these are all kinds of resources that I've used. There's also a lot of vendors, trusted vendors that we've established with that I can share if you're interested. But we have a awesome risk manager who is just watching our back and protecting our organization. So we make sure we get all policies and procedures for our volunteers or residents, or how to run a virtual meeting with our residents, so that we make sure that we do it properly and we're not infringing on anybody's privacy while they're at home, and sharing through Zoom and all that. So we have suppliers and marketing consultants and employment law advice from Ron Brand and things like that. So just really trusted consultants and resources that have got us through all of this past 5 months. And kind of that experience that I've learned is really what I wanted to impart with everybody today. So thank you for listening and being part.
Thank you, Michelle, and thank you, Rochelle. I apologize for the technical difficulties, but the presentation was wonderful. The resources are incredible. As I said, we had something similar at the beginning, which was how people were engaging their teams. But this is, as you can see, coming from an operations standpoint, and specifically how to build this culture. And I mean, it just shows, Rochelle, how much you care about your team and how much you care about your clients. I mean, just even your reference to, respecting their privacy when you're having meetings with your clients. I mean, that is something I probably would not have thought about. So you just really thought of everything.
Asked the question in the chat. How did you intentionally talk about or address the recent protests, both with staff and your apartment communities?
Michelle, would either one of you want to take that?
I will tell you that whatever you think you're going to talk about, you've got to throw it away because we put in some, we sent out some information, asked people what they thought about. We were going to get together and have this discussion, and it turned out to be a tangential discussion. So it wasn't necessarily on the activities and events that are going on right now. But what was really interesting is they took that discussion and talked about how we direct ourselves better with our residents. Most of the work that we're doing are in communities of color, are in low-income communities. We've got a project in Little Tokyo where the community, frankly doesn't want to work with a group from Orange County that doesn't look like them. And so what came out of it was, after watching everything going on, that they pivoted the conversation to how do we prevent something like that happening in the work that we do, so that people know that we sincerely care. And so again, if I was going to say, how do we do it authentically, is to not come to the group and say, we're going to discuss George Floyd. They didn't want to discuss George Floyd. They wanted to discuss how we don't get painted with the same paintbrush of people who didn't understand what he was going through. And I would not have thought that would be where they wanted to have the discussion. We've got an extremely diverse organization. And so, yeah, letting them guide the conversation was how we did it. other organizations that I said the CEOs were really impacted. And when they reached out to the staff said, no, we don't want to discuss it. And 3 months later they did. And so truly making it available to your team and letting your team let you know when and how they want to discuss a challenging topic. That's how we did it.
Yeah, and also I meant to mention too, through our risk management company, I've been offered a lot of like 10 free modules of HR training for staff. So there was a 30-minute module on diversity. There was, and that's not just about race and religion, it's about, you know, people with disabilities, things like that. So it's kind of, it's just a good food for thought and heads up. And then also, you know, the non-harassment training. So just really exposing the staff to the different HR modules that are available, and also so that everybody hears the same thing.
Speak to the consultants that you have. They've got resources that a lot of times you haven't thought about and haven't tapped into, you're already paying for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Can you share some of those consultants also that you work with? I think that would
yes, I can send the list to Robin if that works. Okay.
That's great. And any modules, if they're free, could you put in the links for that also that I can
Sure. Okay, I definitely.
That would be incredible. That would be incredible to have them maybe do one of our Zoom sessions. So maybe Michelle, I'll talk to you offline on that and see if they would be willing to come and do a training for the whole network.
Okay.
Yeah, this is great. Let's see if there's, okay, I mean, I think everybody's just so appreciative of the information. Again, you're doing cutting edge work. Congratulations.
She's gone again. Thank you, everybody.
That's that giant sheep hook telling us to go home now. Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you so
Everybody,
much.
thanks.
Thank you. Bye-bye.